Ready, set,
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready, Set, Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and the year 2020. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the future of our generation, Teddy Chinaris.
That's me. This is going to come out in 2020, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, man, that's so exciting.
Let me see. It'll come out the 4th day of 2020 of the new decade.
Dude, that's crazy. I'm in the future right now.
It's coming out on Friday, right?
Yeah. No.
So
Yeah.
That's
Friday,
the 3rd.
January 3rd.
Oh, the clock on my computer is weird. I need to fix that. And already more punk than cyberpunk. It's dexterity.
Hi.
I was about to say what a great intro, and then I feel like it got a little bit ruined, but it's fine. It's fine.
Wow.
That's such a great intro.
Do y'all have New Year's resolutions?
No.
No, I have some plans for some things, but like they're not like I'm gonna do this January 1st, the New Year's resolution. Here we go. It's not like that.
They're not SMART goals.
No. God, I remember that. No, they're not that. No, they're just more like I got some goals that I have been working on that I will continue to work on and stuff like that. I was thinking of like trying to set I guess it's a New Year's resolution, but like a goal for like a month to make myself read for like 10 minutes a day. You know what I mean? At the very least, like read for 10 minutes a day. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet, but I'm thinking about it.
It's a New Year's thought.
Yeah.
I feel like no one's really doing New Year's resolutions this year. They're just like, we survived 2019. Isn't that enough?
Dude, was 2019 awful for everyone else? Like, I feel like I've heard that from some people about like the past couple of years, but in like 2018, everybody was like, and I was like, I had a good 2018. I don't know, but now I'm like, I'm with you on the 2019.
I feel like we have been on a downhill slope recently, but hopefully 2020, new decade, new start for everybody.
Woo.
I mean, my New Year's resolution is the New Year's resolution I had last year, but it didn't work out. But I've already made some good steps, and that's just pay off debt. Because like literally the last this month, I've been working stupid amounts of overtime. Against not by choice. But I already paid off one credit card bill, and I've got like 90% of another one, and I'm gonna hopefully just keep like rolling that forward, because like by paying off one, it's gonna save me like $100, and then I can pay $100 more to the next debt, and hopefully
That's
get
smart,
everything paid off. For
sure. I am definitely not looking forward. I forgot that this was going to be a thing, or I didn't think about it like last year. In January, I just like kept going to I had already been going to the gym, and I just kept going. I walked in one day on like January 1st or 2nd or whatever, and I was like, holy shit, why are there so many people here? And I was like, oh, okay. And literally like 2 or 3 weeks later, it was back to how it was.
Yeah.
I was like, yikes, guys. 2 weeks? But I'm not looking forward to that again, because the gym I go to is already crowded, but...
Yeah, David and I are gonna start going to the gym in the mornings before he goes to work, which is something we've been talking about doing for a long time. It's not a New Year's resolution. It's just like we're going to a festival in June, and I don't like how frumpy I look when I don't have a shirt on. And since this festival is at like the end of June, and last year they had like record highs of like over 100 degrees for the whole fucking festival, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be half naked the whole time. I don't want to look like shit. We're going to the fucking gym. So I'm debating just like waiting until after that rush of like everybody with their New Year's resolution bullshit. But I'm like, no, we got to start it. We got to start right fucking now.
Yeah, just do it. And also, if you go when it is busy, then once it gets, you'll be used to that. And then once it gets less busy, you're going to be like, oh, this is great. This is amazing.
Right.
I would love to go like in the morning before work. That's like the dream. You got to be up like it depends on your job and whatnot, but to do that you got to be up super early, and it's like I just can't. I'm not a morning person, but it is like when you start your day with that, it's great. Like it's great. It's such a bummer that a lot of the time mine like ends with that. Like I'll go home from work or something, or like this past semester, I would like go home from a class or my internship, and I'd go to the gym at like 7 or 8, and then I'd go home and eat, and then pretty much go to sleep. And like, it's not. I feel like that's just not maximizing my time well, you know? Because it's so much better when you do it in the morning, and then you actually can like use that energy. It's a good idea.
If I had a desk job, that would be a nice thing to do. But because my job is physical labor, it's like I can't be tired going into work. So.
Yeah. Well, if you do it like right and are eating well as well, then like it should give you energy. It should like not tire you out and like kind of be like starting here, then you work out, then you're here for like the rest of the day. That's like ideal. It doesn't always. It depends on how you do it though. But
yeah.
Sometimes you just completely tire yourself out.
These people should just get Ring Fit Adventure. So then they don't have to...
The best way to get fit in 2020.
Oh, actually, I haven't been the one who's been playing it, but I've been watching my girlfriend play it, and honestly, the way they handle stuff is really interesting. I'll talk a little bit about it during my games, but first, I want to hear what Darian's been up to.
Literally just played Dead by Daylight. And not even that much. I played it for like 2 hours before the podcast today. And one of the guys I was playing with was like, wow, Darian, you've played 10 hours of Dead by Daylight in the last 2 weeks. And I got so sad. Like, that's not very much. That's just how little fucking time I've had to game.
Yeah.
It's that holiday season, which I'm sure like both of you probably went to family and did stuff for holidays.
Yeah.
Whereas I was just like, I'm gonna sit at home and just play the games, and that's why I have the longest game list of the podcast this time.
Yeah.
Well, on Christmas I stayed at home, and that's when most of those hours were accumulated. Actually, was on Christmas Day. But the week before Christmas, I got one of those giant bruises on my butt. You guys want to see it?
No?
It's a weird color now. It's not on my butt. It's on my back.
Back.
Okay.
Sure.
I was like,
what color is it?
It's a really odd like yellow color now. Oh, you can hardly see it in this light. I'm so bright. Hey. Maybe that'll help. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Look at my chubs.
How did that happen? Oh, you fell down some stairs, right?
Yeah, I slipped on the stairs, and
That's a hardcore
I'm glad
bruise.
that I fell the way I did, because like I was recounting it to my dad's side of the family, and they're like, wow, yeah, people have broken their tailbones doing shit like that. And I was like, no, I just fell on my love handle. I'm fine.
See, if you went to the gym, then that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
It would have worked out even worse. Stay away.
Well, Tay Chinaris has been playing a game that I have been interested in hearing about.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what
I haven't
you've
played
been up
nearly as much of it as I would like, but it is very good. It's called Slay the Spire. It is a card game, and it is a card roguelike game, and it is super fun. It is like, I don't know. I wish I had more time with it, but I've been playing it on the Switch every now and then. I did that. I went to Florida for Christmas and was gone for about a week, but I haven't been here for the last 2 weeks, or I've been here for the last month. So it's like, oh man, I haven't even thought about that when it comes to games. It's probably about the same, Destiny 2 is Slay the Spire, because I've been really busy with when the semester was ending, like graduating and working and like finishing up my internship and all that. So yeah, Slay the Spire is super fun. I got a bunch of games like for Christmas/birthday and whatnot, but I haven't really played most any of them. Like, I still have Jedi Fallen Order that I haven't beaten. I bought Control, so that's on my computer. I bought, what else? I bought a couple other things, but Slay the Spire, Katana Zero on the Switch as well, because I've heard a lot of really good things about that game. But Slay the Spire is super fun. It's just like you start, and every single time you like build your deck, it starts you with like a standard deck. There's like different characters that have like certain innate bonuses, but you start with that character. After each fight, you get one more card added to your deck. And some gold, and then you go up, there's like some shops where you can buy stuff, and then there's a boss, and then there's like, it goes in acts. So like I've only gotten through act 1 and gotten into act 2, and then I died, but I've only done a few runs. But it's really cool. It's really cool, Bryce. You should play it.
I think it was on sale, and I think I was looking at it, but then also I had so much other stuff that
also on Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
Like everything.
Yeah, things on Game Pass, it's like, well, I can try it out. I can see what I think.
Game Pass is so good. But I just wanted it portably. I figured like roguelike games are great to just be able to chip away at.
Oh yeah.
And a little bit of Destiny 2. I played some while I was like down visiting my sister and brother-in-law. I downloaded it on his PlayStation and bought Shadowkeep because I have people who want to play with me on PlayStation, but I was like, didn't really want to spend the money on buying the expansion again just so I could play my characters and stuff there, but I was like, fine, fuck it. Like, it's gotta happen. So I bought it and I was playing a little bit there. I've been playing the Dawning, the holiday event, which is super fun. One day they'll bring back Sparrow Racing League and I'll be really happy, but it is not this year. Sadly. One day. But it's cool. You're baking cookies for people and whatnot. That's the holiday thing, is they give you an oven and you like bake cookies for all the vendors and stuff. It's great.
And they give you weapons in return for cookies.
Yeah, kinda. Not always.
Destiny seems like a cool game that I will never return to because it's an MMO, and if you are not playing the entire time, you're left behind.
Kind of. I see, that's true, and that is very much like what kept me away for a while, because I had also fallen off, and it kept me away because I was the person in Destiny 1 who knew every single thing about that game and played so much that it was like I had everything. So going in Destiny 2, even when I fell off for a few months and I came back and I was like, I realized that I'll never be able to catch up and be on that same level that I was in D1. I was like super upset about it and was just like, damn, like I don't really even want to play if I can't play it like that. But I just kind of had to learn to just fucking take everything at a stride. I mean, this is part of a life lesson too. Just kind of slow down and like enjoy the thing in the moment. Like, I can't do everything in Destiny 2, which is sad, and I really want to, but like the game is still fun. So like, even if I hop in and just play a couple of the new story missions or a couple of quests and just shoot some dudes, it's still fun. You know, even if I can't get everything done, there are like little micro goals that you can go towards, and you can get some stuff done, even in a small amount of time, for sure. It's fun.
Yeah. I think if I had like a group of people, because like, you know, Destiny is most fun when you're playing with other people, and it's like you have to go through the story missions to be able to get to the raid stuff, and
raids is so good. One of the reasons why I got back in was because I want to do the new raid, because I watched it on the raid race when it launched. Like, I watched everybody do it, and it's so pretty. It's so gorgeous. Like, this is the best visually looking raid that I think they've ever done, and it's the Vex again. So it reminds me of Vault of Glass, and apparently everybody really likes it, so I want to play it real bad. But that's still a ways away even for me.
Yeah.
Who has been playing.
Well, I have also been playing other video games. I have finished The Outer Worlds.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, it's always exciting when you finish a video game. There was like, honestly, it's a Fallout style, Skyrim style kind of game, but with heavy RPG elements. Thus, like, they're constantly giving you new side quests and stuff. And honestly, the main quest is so kind of meh. It almost, like, I was not invested in the main quest at all. I was just like, wait, this guy wants me to go bake a cake? Yeah, I'm down for that. And the main guy's like, you need to do this to save the galaxy. I'm like, but the cake, though.
It's the problem with any side quest open world game.
But like with Skyrim, I got sidetracked with side quests and then just never got anywhere with the main quest. And I feel like the side quests in the Outer Worlds were really good. They were almost little like bite-sized stuff that you were like, I was able to like constantly check them off of like, okay, I'm doing this and then I'm over here, and everything's kind of tight together. I don't have to explore the entire world. Like there's occasional times that you'll have to jump to another planet, but then you go to that planet, you do the thing and you're back, and it's way easier to kind of complete the missions. But I did find a couple new side quests when I reached the final planet, and well, technically second to last planet. And I was like, no, I think I need to finish this because there was one thing where I think it would have unlocked you a new armor set. And I was like, well, it would be cool to have a like really nice looking armor set. But then I like really quickly looked into like, okay, is it just grabbing this material that they need and then it's done? It's like, no, you grab the material, then you have to go kill these other things, then you have to go to, I'm like, no, I'm just gonna finish the game. And first I'm gonna talk about the things that I didn't like about the end of the game. This isn't really gonna be spoilers, maybe just like kind of gameplay ideas. But I kind of wish the final mission of the Outer Worlds was more like the final mission of Mass Effect 2, because like Mass Effect 2, the Outer Worlds is so like, I mean, it can be so companion based. It is so like the best thing about the Outer Worlds is these really interesting characters that they have you take. And like every time you're on a mission, you can take 2 companions, and they will be talking to characters as you talk to characters. Like they'll interrupt and be like, oh, I have something to say. Or you're just walking around, they're talking to each other. Like they made exploring the world so much fun, so interesting. And I was constantly like, who's gonna have something cool to say here? Let me pick based on that. And most of the time I was picking my like favorite character. Like Pavarti was like with me 90% of the time, even though she is not really built for combat. Like she is an engineer, but it's like Pavarti's the best. Like I just love her. She's the first companion you get, and she's just really adorable. And
she's played by Ashley Burch, right?
I don't know.
I think so.
But frickin', I was so focused on her quest line, which her quest line is just like her trying to get a date. And I was just like, what do you need, girl? You need some makeup? You need some... I will burn this galaxy to the ground to get you this fucking date.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just like whatever I gotta do. So the final mission, you have to go to this place and rescue a person. And there are somewhat different ways that you can handle it, but they require you to have insanely high skill checks. Like, and for the most part, when you're on a planet, your skill checks will be boosted by your companions. So like, I think Pavarti will give like plus 30 to, engineering or something. But the first skill check for this world happens on the ship, and for some reason, even though your entire crew is on the ship with you, they're not boosting your skills at all. So I wasn't able to pass that first skill check, and I was nowhere near. There's ways you can switch out clothes to give you boosts to skill. So because I didn't pass that first skill check, that basically required that I had to go in guns blazing to the place, because passing that first skill check would have allowed me an option to go in stealthily. And I will say there was a cool deal where decisions I made, like people I helped out earlier, benefited me in that final mission. But I really wish it had a system like Mass Effect 2. Have you guys played Mass Effect 2?
No.
Okay.
Sadly, everybody tells me to.
So yeah, Mass Effect 2 is the only Mass Effect I played, and I loved it because they had the final mission.
It's the only Mass Effect you played?
Yeah. I've tried the other ones. I tried the other ones, but I did not love them. I didn't finish them. So I technically played 1 and 3, didn't get very far, so I don't even count them. Huh. But yeah, so the final mission 2 of Mass Effect 2, you have to like, I don't remember what the mission is, but I remember that there were like several things that you had to do to complete this mission. And so you had to like hack a computer. So you had to like assign people to the different jobs. And their chance of success was based on like how close they are to you, and you increase that by like doing their companion missions and stuff. And then you obviously have to pick the right person for the job. You don't pick like the dumb idiot to do the sciencey job. So you're picking out the people like, hey, you go handle this, you go handle this. And then you actually have to go, fight the people and get through the mission. And what's so freaking great about that was that you knew that based on this mission, people can die. Literally everybody could die. Some people could die, or every single person could survive. So it made that final mission so intense. Like, am I picking the right people to do these jobs? Am I going to get through this? And yeah, like the final moment of I got through and everybody survived, and just like, I felt so relieved. Like, all these people that I had done these missions with were fine. But in the Outer Worlds, you're only picking the 2 companions that you have, and everybody else is on the ship. And it was like, okay, like I have this whole crew, this is the final thing, but they're just gonna be okay. And I had to, like, on one hand, it would have made more sense for me to just pick my like guys who can do the most damage, but I decided to go with the characters that I like the best, and just kind of hope I failed so many times just because they weren't built for it. But I wanted to end the game with my favorite characters, or use them in some capacity, because yeah, the Mass Effect had it so you're using every character. Every character that you have brought matters. This, honestly, like, the 2 people that I brought mattered a little bit, but not really. So that I didn't love. The final mission, yeah, there was, and the high-ass skill checks. I played as a kind of a jack of all trades. I put points all over. To do things to really help, to do anything other than just shooting everybody, you needed to have 100 in the different skill checks that they required. Like, there was persuade and stuff. You need 100 in them. And I had like 80 or something. So I was not able to do any of the stuff, and just had to just shoot everybody. But the game ends once you finish the game, you get an epilogue deal where it shows you little, like, it's kind of like a documentary style deal of kind of them going like, this is what happened to all the characters. And it's showing like, okay, based on you making this decision, this is what's happened to the colony. And then once it got to my crew, God, once it got to Bavardi, I was crying. Erin was watching me, and she was like, I heard you making noises. Like, I was tearing up a little bit.
Wow.
Like, yeah,
that's a big thing for Bryce.
Yeah, I love that they like made a payoff for these decisions, and that is one thing I really love. I would like them to maybe make that final battle mean something, make my companions, every companion, have a role. But I don't know, we're getting DLC later, sometime in 2020, so maybe
sometime
something
this year.
Yeah, something cool will come with that. But Outer Worlds was really cool. Very much recommend. The shooting is very good. Fuck. Speaking of which, I had to go in guns blazing because I couldn't do any of the other options. The enemies in that final mission were stupid hard. I could just...
That's what she said.
I could just one-shot normal guys during the main part of the game. These guys, I headshotted them like 5 times, and they were still like, I'm fine. So at one point, I just like ran. I just ran through them, just like, please don't shoot me, please don't shoot me, and just barely got like past them. But yeah, Outer Worlds much recommend. A game that I less recommending, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I've been playing on PlayStation 4. I've had so many issues.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, there's your problem.
Yeah, I wanted. It's
really sad.
I wanted to play on the big screen, and yeah, I've had the game like freezing up on me multiple times. Insanely long loads.
I was really like I was really indecisive about getting it on PlayStation or PC, and I pre-ordered it before it came out, and I am very glad that I did PC, because the console versions are apparently super, super buggy, and I've only run into one bug. I've only played for about 10 hours, but like I've only run into one thing, and I just had to like reload a checkpoint, and it was fine. So that's a bummer, because the game itself is fucking awesome, and I love it so far. And from what I hear, it just gets better.
I don't. I've returned to Kashyyyk for the second time.
Oh, I pretty much I left Kashyyyk for the first time a little bit ago. I think I'm not super far.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously you can come and go from planets as much as you want, but as you know, there's the story that is like, oh, a new thing is unlocked on this planet. You should go back there. But I will say I don't really like the Metroidvania style of game, because there was like one puzzle that I was trying to do, which I ended up finding had a actually kind of simple solution. But I just forgot that there was a thing that I could turn on. And so I was trying to burn this vine, and I knew that fire burned the vine, and I was trying to get one of these fire things to the right spot. And so I was like, okay, well, there's a fire thing over here. Can I get it here? I ended up like getting lost and ended up having to I accidentally ended up on a wrong path and had to redo an entire area just to get back to the place I was. Because I was like, well, is the solution over here? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't
it can be a little confusing. Yeah, it reminds me of when I first played Arkham Asylum. It's a very similar kind of, and now that I think back on it, I didn't know it at the time, but everybody calls like Asylum kind of a Metroidvania. So I'm like, oh, okay.
But like the map is, they'll give you like a 3D map, and I'm like, okay, so if I'm here, like it can be hard to read.
It's a little hard to read, but honestly, I actually really like the map. I've heard a couple people complain about it, and I don't think there's any way they could have done it any better. Like I think like the map is a little confusing, and like you kind of have to get used to it. But once I did get used to it, I really like it, and it's like, I don't know. You just have to get used to it. I don't think they could have done it any better. Like, I don't think they could have made a 3D map that has, like, the different levels that, like, convey the information that it does in a more simple way.
I don't know, but there's plenty. I don't like that they'll, like, show you the room of, like, you need to get here, and there'll just be emptiness of, like, how to get there, and I'm like, okay. And then for the most part, it's just, like, just keep going, and as long as you're seeing new stormtroopers, then you might be on the right path. But there's just like so many paths and so many options that it can be overwhelming.
Navigating can be a little confusing and a little hard for sure. I haven't gotten super lost yet. I got a little lost a couple of times, but I haven't gotten to where I'm like, fuck, where do I go? Like I haven't gotten there yet. But I still have more to play.
Yeah,
I'm going to beat that game. I have to.
Right now I'm not loving this. I'm not loving the story. It's not
really.
It's not hooking me. No,
I have loved the story since the first cutscene, and like well, hold on. I don't want to. I'll hint to this in a very non-spoilerish way, but like I think it is when you're on Kashyyyk. I'm trying to think. I think it might be. I can say that it's the second sister or whatever. Yeah. Right. The second fight with her, I'll say that's non-spoilery. You can assume you fight her multiple times. The second fight with her, the way that ends, I was like, holy shit, this is so good. And then like the talking through the comms, like, oh man, I want to keep going.
That's on Zelos or whatever, that first planet. Yeah. Because that happens just before
it didn't seem like Kashyyyk because of like the way the battle where the battle is. But that bit's so cool.
It happens shortly before you return to Kashyyyk because
I saw a spoiler thing on Twitter the other day, but it wasn't really a spoiler thing. It was just like a screenshot of a character I had met before, and I was like, that character looks dope as fuck. Like, I really like the story. I want to keep playing it. So far, honestly, Jedi Fallen Order, having played 10 hours of it, is the best game I've played all year. Like, I adore that game so far. But it has a lot of room to, not be great as it continues. But from what I hear, the story gets better. Apparently, the ending is really dope.
Yeah, I'll keep playing. I mean, I've definitely, with Mandalorian and Rise of Skywalker and stuff, I've definitely been like, let me do more Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, man, I'm going to get this. I'm on a Star Wars kick,
They did a really good job releasing all those things around the same time.
They really did. And I went to Galaxy's Edge. I'm very much on a Star Wars kick.
Lastly, I have played Starlink Battle of Atlas, which is that Toys to Life game. Honestly, it's a pretty good Star Fox game.
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, it's honestly like they should have just made it as a Star Fox game, but my biggest complaint with it is how much they do kind of lock you behind you can technically beat the game without buying any more toys than come with the base set. But there's very much of like, you should be using a gravity gun now. This enemy is weak to gravity damage. I'm like, I don't have a gravity gun. You didn't give me one of those in the starter set.
I have to go and buy it.
Yeah. So that stuff is annoying. But for the most part, like it kind of feels good to play. Like, especially when you're playing as Star Fox. So that's honestly really cool. But we have a little bit of news to tell you people. Dear listeners, and I'm starting off with a kind of correction or clarification for last week's show. Last time, so we said during the Game Awards, they're like, the next Xbox is the Xbox Series X, and that's technically true. The next console will be called the Xbox Series X, but the next generation is apparently going to be called Xbox, because the current generation is called the Xbox One. They're apparently just shortening it to Xbox. And then I assume that there will be Xbox, because obviously there's the Xbox One X, which is the strong version, the Xbox One S, which is kind of the cheaper but better than the original version. I assume that they'll do different series to represent, this is the newest new one, but all of them will just be the Xbox generation. So which
makes sense with what Microsoft is trying to do. It is very weird to think about the naming conventions, though, of how the original Xbox was the Xbox, and then they did the Xbox 360, and then the Xbox One, and now it is the Xbox again.
Yeah, it's just funny. Come full circle. They're just, the April Fool's joke is going to be, they're just going to re-release old Xboxes. Wouldn't that be fucking dope?
The next generation is the Xbox 362. Yeah. That'd be great.
The Xbox Series, 360.
Series 360.
The fact that they're calling this Series X and there's the One X, couldn't you have used a different letter?
Yeah, for real. A different letter, either not X or not S.
Yeah.
Just
how about keep
any
it
other
simple
letter.
And start fucking numbering your generations?
Yeah.
Hey, I know what generation of PlayStation we're on because they number it.
Yeah.
Stop with this bullshit.
Or if you're gonna do letters, do Series A.
Yeah.
And the next one B.
Or go alphabetically.
Where do you go from X? You got 2 letters left.
You go Y, Z, and then
actually they just want to go backwards.
Yeah,
so they're gonna start at X and then work towards the beginning.
It's dumb.
Well,
you know what else Bryce thinks is dumb?
Yeah, Darian. Pokemon.
Tell him what Bryce thinks is dumb.
I don't know why he thinks it's dumb.
Tell me about it, and I'll tell you why I don't like it.
Pokemon Go is revamping the buddy system, so they're going to add some new features so that you can. To
be clear, they have added it. The system is out.
Yeah, it's already out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I haven't actually played the game in a while. So they have they've improved the buddy system by adding new benefits, which you are able to level up your friendship with your Pokemon by feeding it berries and playing with it. And then as you tier up your buddy, you'll have access to different perks. Good Buddy, they can walk with you on the map view screen. Great Buddy helps you they can help you catch Pokemon and can bring you items. Ultra Body alerts you of interesting places nearby and brings souvenirs. And Best Buddy gets a special ribbon and gets a CP boost in combat as long as they're set to your buddy. The thing I'm most excited about is that walking distance to get buddy candy will no longer be reset when you switch your buddies. So that's really cool. Like if I need to change it for a mission or whatever, then I can switch it back to my original buddy when I'm done, and I'll still have the progress on them, which is really nice. And they are also apparently going to do an AR photo thing in the future where you can take a picture with your buddy.
That's I mean, obviously you could take pictures of Pokemon for a while now, but they have it now where several people can you can take pictures with multiple buddies. Like if you or me were hanging out, there's a group code that I could create, and then you scan the code, and then literally our buddies could stand with us and take a group photo of all of our Pokemon together. You can do that.
That sounds really cute and cheesy.
You can do it with up to 3 people.
I love it.
Okay.
I do love it.
Here is my issues with it. So there are, God, I don't know how many hearts. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 hearts. Here's the screen for my buddy. There are 10 hearts that you can get every single day. To the first one, to achieve them, you have to walk 2 kilometers with your buddy. For the second group, and there's 3 hearts for walking. I don't know if it gets higher, like the first heart gets you 2 kilometers, and then it's higher and higher. I've never even got any of those yet. The second heart is for give your buddy a treat, and that's feeding them berries, and I think you need to feed them 3 berries for 1 heart, and then you have to wait like 3 hours, and then you can do it again. And then, so you'd have to 9 hours before you could get each heart. There's the play together, which to play together, you can only do that in AR mode, which it means that you have to sit there and bring your phone around so that they can scan where's the safe mode to place them and stuff. It's just let them, give the default when you turn off AR mode, just put them in the grass field and let me rub them and stuff. It's cute, but I don't want to have to wave my phone around every time I want to play with my buddy. There's Battle Together, which is, fine. There's Take a Snapshot of Them, which also requires the AR mode. And then there's Visit a New Place, which is Spin a Pokestop. And so they want you to do all of those things every single day to get to improve your buddiness. I don't know if there's an indication of how many more hearts I need to increase my buddiness. Right now he's a good buddy, which I think you get.
Oh, what a good buddy.
Yeah, you get for just doing any of the stuff. You do have to have you do have to have their hunger filled to have them appear on the map with you. So you have to feed them treats for them to show up. And so along with you could feed them berries and stuff, they do have a different kind of treat that they'll allow you to use, which let me check real quick. I think it's something that they're trying to sell you. And this kind of feels like just a way to sell you more stuff. Apophon. Apophon is 100 Pokecoins, and feed this special treat to your buddy, and it'll happily join you on the map for an extended duration. And so you could be like, well, this doesn't really matter, but like she said, having to do this stuff gives you gameplay benefits. Literally, your Pokemon will do more damage if you go through all these hoops. And it's too much, honestly. Like, if they made it simpler or asked less of me to do, that would be fine. I feel like they're asking me to do way too much every single day, and it's kind of annoying. And if they just allow me to play with him and stuff without AR mode on, I'll be less angry. Just don't make me use AR mode. Who wants AR mode? Like, allow it as an option. Don't force it. That's my complaint.
That's fair. I can see it. I don't have any input because I haven't played Pokemon Go more than the 1 week when it launched.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only reason that I think complaining about this is dumb is because it's not taking anything away.
But
it's literally just adding extra shit that is possible, but barely actually affects gameplay.
Yeah, like, you don't need it, right? Like, yeah, I mean, you probably want it.
If you get them to Best Buddy, it can get a CP boost in combat, which it is not going to be significant enough to be, like, game-changing.
But he's also under the lower tiers. They give you items if you're that status. They give you stuff.
Right, which is not, like, necessary. It's just extra.
I mean, you can get
it's just more fun stuff that you can do if you're running out of stuff to do on Pokemon. But, like, if it's not your life, like, there are people who literally play Pokemon Go all fucking day long, and of course they're gonna want more shit to do. Like, this is for them, not for the casual players.
Yeah, Bryce, you fucking casual.
I feel like they could balance it better, where add a new feature for more stuff to do, but make it more reasonable. I love the idea of the buddy system. I just wish that it was easier to do. Like you can be best friends with a person and you just send them a thing, and all I'm gonna do is just feed him every day or play with him every day, and that's all I have to do. But speaking of adding new things.
Yeah, dude, you know what PlayStation is adding? 2 more buttons if you pay a certain amount of money, which I don't know if they have disclosed yet. So PlayStation is launching a thing that's like a so you know how on the Elite Series controller or on Scuff controllers on the back they're like paddles for like additional buttons. They are basically, PlayStation's like launching a separate thing that you can just plug into the bottom of the Dualshock, and it adds 2 buttons or 2 paddles on the back to be that you can customize to like anything, which is super cool. I actually really want this because I've always wanted a Scuff and an Elite controller and whatnot, but they're like $200, and this is going to be much cheaper. But my only problem is that I plug it in to a charging stand that like that uses the bottom of the controller. Like, I leave my controllers in that, so every single time I'm gonna have to take it out, put the little paddles back in. Like, I'm gonna have to undo it and redo it every time. So it's like, well, I don't know.
That's but I still might get it.
It's it looks like, I'm trying to find the price. It looks like some YouTube commenter, if you want to trust them, says it's $30, but you know, we can't trust those YouTube commenters. But it's really cool too because it has an LED screen on the back and it shows what the 2 buttons are that you have programmed it to.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. It is weird in the little diagrams. The examples that they're using is putting like L2 and R2 and R1 and L1, and I'm like, those are not the ones that you would use because those already have triggers. Like, they're already, like, it would be literally any of the other ones. But yeah, it's really cool. For people who don't know what this is used for, people get them in Scuff controllers and whatnot. So for, like in Destiny, it has a separate button layout for it that I use. It's just called Bumper Jumper, and it moves around some things. And it makes it so that I can jump without taking my hand off of the right thumbstick, right? So to jump normally on the default thing and on most games, you would move your right thumb off of the right thumbstick and hit X. But in games like Halo or Destiny, where you're airborne a lot, it's really good to just be able, I use L1 instead, and X is my super. It's really good to be able to not take your hand off thumbstick so that you can still aim while you're in the air. And it's for stuff like that. I've always wanted one for Halo. But yeah, really cool. I might get this. I think they said that it's coming out in like February or something like that.
Seems cool. So, yeah. We'll see if people like it and it works well. But I want to talk to the special few who think this podcast is cool. Patreon producers Aaron C., Andrew Feisner, and Dragons Lucas. Thank you for coming to the podcast, for saying this is awesome, and I want to help support this content being made. If you would like to help support the show and the Last Geek network of content, you can go to patreon.com/lastgeek, and for $5 you can receive a shout out on each and every episode of Ready Set Gamecast, or $8 will get you a shout out on both of the podcasts that we produce. Thank you for supporting the show, and we love you. It is now time for the topic of discussion.
I haven't been here since that was rebranded. I like it.
It was rebranded right before the show. You were here when it happened.
Oh, was it? Oh, topic of discussion. Okay.
To be fair, I've been saying it's the topic of the show, but with not the normal topic of the show stuff.
Time for the topic of the show. Just kidding. Topic of the show is dead, but here's something else we're going to talk about. Like, okay, well, we killed topic of the show, so stop calling it that.
Topic of discussion is a good placeholder.
Okay.
I'll take it for now.
What is something you are, or what is some things that you are proud of that you did in 2019?
Oh, God.
Nope. I'm
not gonna fully go down that road because it can get very deep, but actually a lot of things. But also, here's a fairly like surface level, but like still very proud of it. Fucking graduated college. That's exciting. That's a big deal. Yeah. I very much downplay it a lot of the times, but that is definitely a really cool, like, that's a big accomplishment that took me fucking 4.5 years. I went an extra semester because I didn't want to kill myself because my advisor told me some things that were not exactly correct.
Oh no.
But I went an extra semester, so it took me 4.5 years, but I did it, and it was painful, but I finished it and I got out the other end.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm proud of that.
Is that your one shining?
That's the one that I will definitely mention.
Right.
Let's see. I'm very proud of myself just in general of like 2019 and how I've handled a lot of the stuff that has happened. But yeah, that's a big one for sure. I'm proud of like how I handled my internship. That went really well. Like surprisingly well.
Didn't burn down the place once.
No, they all liked me. I did everything that I needed to do pretty well. She even offered, she was like, if we needed like some freelance video editing, would you be up for it? And I was like, absolutely.
Nice.
So yeah. I don't know. I'm proud of myself for a lot of things. I'm proud of myself for where I'm at right now and like where I'm going. It's going to be interesting and it's going to take some time, but like I'm proud of the trajectory that I'm on for sure.
Dexterity. What are you most proud of from 2019? What is the thing that you think that was really cool?
2019 was pretty boring for me.
Wow.
Just boring. Nothing happened.
Sounds nice. There was a lot of negative shit that happened actually in 2019. I don't have a whole lot to be proud of except for like, I guess I'm making a lot of progress on my debt, but like,
it's good. I mean, that's a big thing. Like that's the fact that I was able to pay off a debt. I was just like, yes, this is the start of something great.
So, you're like,
let me be clear. I haven't paid anything off yet. I'm just
working,
just chipping away, away at it.
To be clear,
as long as it's not growing.
The debt I paid off was the smallest one. It was just like I just got like a couple payments left, but I could pay it off now.
Yeah. Well, even the fact that you got through all of the negative shit.
Yeah, surviving is an achievement sometimes.
Yeah, for sure, especially when it is a lot of negative shit. Like the fact that you get through that is good. It's something to be proud of.
Yeah, I did it.
Still here. Yeah, I think that I've kind of think about a lot is that how I have never missed a podcast. And I mean, there was the time that I was laying on my bathroom floor, just being like, "You guys got it? Here's okay." So the Last Geek has never not put out a podcast on the weeks that we're supposed to put out a podcast.
That is true. Wow.
And I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, it can be exhausting. There's plenty of podcasts and content that takes holiday breaks and stuff, and we're not because we're small enough that like if we stop, people might unsubscribe. But I'm proud of the every 2 weeks you can expect a Ready Set Gamecast or Game Makecorp in your podcast place thing.
That's an accomplishment for sure.
Excited for the debts, and this is just in December where I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't have travel. I don't have anything coming up. I'm excited to pay off some debt. And speaking of travel, like I went to 3 cons this year, had panels at 2 of them, and like one of them a decent amount of people showed up at. I was honestly like worried. We went to GalaxyCon and I don't know, there's like 25 people who came to the Game Makecorp panel, and that was really cool. And then like PAX West, like we did some really cool stuff there. Like I interviewed the people from No Straight Roads. It was just a thing of like, oh, I've heard of No Straight Roads. I wonder if they'd let me interview them. And we did. And for some reason, that video has become one of the like highest viewed videos on the channel. Like,
that's good.
I don't know if they made an announcement or something, and then people were like, let me find content for it, because we just put it out there and people found it. So that was cool, and just kind of making connections is really cool. So 2020, I'm slowing down. I'm taking a breather. I'm not making any big travel plans. There are some cool stuff that I'm trying to set up, but I'm not traveling across the country. I'm paying off debt. I'm focusing on that. But I'm hopeful that 2020 is going to be a good year. But do you want to help make it a better year? Send us questions and comments. It helps us talk about cool stuff, like what's the best pizza topping and other things.
It's pepperoni, easily.
Yeah. I hate pepperoni.
What
face?
But if you want to be part of the show, go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite pizza topping for us to read on the show. And we can find out why Darian hates pepperoni.
I just don't like pepperoni. There's not a reason.
Yeah. I had a pepperoni pizza at like a fancy pizza joint nearby, and apparently their pepperoni is spicy, and I did not.
Yeah, some pepperoni, spicy pepperoni, dog.
Yeah,
it's good.
Most pepperoni I've had, not spicy. Don't want spicy pepperoni.
I'm all about it.
Do not like that lifestyle.
I'm just all about spicy stuff in general lately.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
no, fuck spicy.
Yeah, I hate spicy.
I'm just like putting hot sauce on everything, dude. Wow. It's great.
That's how
bad for your digestive system.
Yeah, a little bit.
This brings us to housekeeping. Go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on YouTube. If you like the show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes and Stitcher. I don't know why I say Stitcher. It's been there the entire time, but you can rate and review it there.
Just rate it on everything.
Yeah, it might help us. I don't know. I don't know if anybody uses Stitcher, but let's just say it helps us grow and become more powerful.
That one was really good. That one was very powerful. First one of 2020.
Yeah. We're recording this in 2019. It's our reaching forward to the future. Other Last Geek stuff you should check out. We got a merch store, lastgeek.com/merch. Who's Your Daddy? We did a Let's Play. Me and Beckers played it. One of us is a baby. One of us is a daddy.
Oh, that game. Yep. Oh, my God.
You got to keep the baby from not killing itself.
And the baby really just wants to die.
Yeah. And they've updated a lot since me and Teddy played it.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it's way harder for the daddy now. Before the daddy could just grab the baby at any point and like the baby could wriggle free. Now you can only grab the baby if you have a special item. So it makes it way harder. But yep, that should be out for everybody. The Patreon one will come when I find time to record one. But this brings us to the end of the podcast, and it allows us to tell you where you can find out more from these awesome people, like Darian.
That's me. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/dexterity. My content sucks right now.
No!
Follow me.
Follow me. One day it won't suck. We're working towards the point where it doesn't.
We're working toward it.
Hey, Oscar the Grouch is garbage, and everybody loves him.
He's a recycler.
Wow, that's
now.
so inspirational. That's the most inspirational thing I've ever heard.
So what you're telling me is keep being trash.
I mean, people like that apparently. Also,
keep being trash.
Also, when the frick did the Sesame Street sell out? Because I have been seeing them pop up in commercials all over the place lately.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's weird. I think somebody bought them or something.
Yeah, what happened was they were gonna stop making Sesame Street, and then HBO bought it, and they're gonna continue production, but you can only watch it on HBO.
Really?
Like on their streaming services. So like PBS is still going to play like old episodes that were made for the public and stuff, but like HBO is going to continue it on their platform.
That's so.
It was either HBO buys it and keeps producing it, or it dies. So I'll take that alternative.
If they put up like a GoFundMe or something of like, help us keep this show.
Isn't that what they've been doing? Like, isn't that PBS?
Yeah, that's PBS. I honestly, if PBS came out and said, hey, we need the money to keep Sesame Street alive, I feel like the money would pour in. I don't know.
They did that, and HBO was like, we'll give you an obscene amount of money to buy it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So they did.
I feel like that Sesame Street belongs to the people.
And it's still like episodes that were made up to that point are still going to be available for free. They're still going to play on PBS all the time.
It was the only option, all right?
It's been like 40 or 50 years on the air. You got a lot of content already. Like, it's fine.
I saw a thing that Sesame Street is adding a homeless person to Sesame Street, and I'll never know because I don't have HBO.
I mean, isn't Oscar kind of a... Well, I guess his home is the trash can.
Yeah, and also Elmo went into his trash can at once, and there was an entire world in there. So,
whoa!
They literally added the homeless character in 2011. What else you got, Bryce?
What? I saw
Lily is Sesame Street's first homeless character. Lily originally joined Sesame Street for a 2011 PBS special about hunger in the U.S.
Wow.
Hey, guess what? She's already in there.
And then
what else you got?
Why did I see this article? Wait, no. Sesame Street 2018, December 13th. Sesame Street announces new homeless character Lily. So was she on the special but not anywhere else?
Maybe.
So she was in an actual
special, yeah.
She was in an actual episode though. Because why would it make news anyway? I don't watch Sesame Street, but I want the children to know.
This podcast is brought to you by the letter P.
Bryce is mad because future episodes of Sesame Street are going to be behind a paywall, and that's dumb.
I want the future generation to know about Oscar and his trash.
That's how the world. They're going to know how the world works. That's what they're going to know.
They're still airing reruns on PBS. That's the argument that's being made. So nothing is being lost.
And then when they ask their parents, where can I get like new Sesame Street? They're like, well, son, let me tell you about capitalism.
Let me tell you about HBO, a channel that you're not allowed to watch because there's boobies there.
No, the streaming service has lots of stuff, even for kids.
Teddy Chinaris, can you tell me about your streaming service?
My streaming service can be found on twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris. We're really looking to take down Disney Plus, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu. It's all coming here. Exclusive content. You know, we're gonna make all sorts of shows. It's gonna be great.
You can't get that anywhere else. Teddy
It's
exclusive content.
True. It's true, yeah. Follow me on Twitter as well, which is just Teddy Chinaris, and also Instagram. I've been using that a lot more lately, and I put stuff up from my vacation. So if you want to see me being a super fucking nerd with a giant lightsaber and a wand, then you can find it there.
Aaron said you posted the Witcher song on.
It was it's so good. It's so good. I did like the Instagram story and was like, watch this show, and I did the little rare parrot gif of like the. It's great. It's so good. The Witcher show, by the way, everybody watch it. It's my favorite show I think I've seen all year. It's awesome.
We're on episode 5. I would say it is better than Mandalorian.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's so good. I love it. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
It was a surprise.
I honestly thought it was
I've never played the Witcher games. Am I still going to appreciate
You're
it?
fine.
One, this is based on the books, and it seems to be based on the first book.
Oh.
Yeah, it's based on the books and not the game, but it is like a lot of the aesthetics and a lot of that is pulled from the game.
Yeah.
Like there's literally a moment where he's meditating and it's the same pose like from Witcher 3 and I'm like, yeah, Henry Cavill, you're the best.
but their who is it? Triss looks nothing like the games.
Kind of in a way. But not really.
No, nothing. But I will say, because I've played a little bit of Witcher 3, when a character says their name, I'm like, I know who you are.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the only thing that came from playing Witcher 3 was, and I've only played like 10 hours of Witcher 3.
Should I play Witcher 3 before I watch The Witcher?
No, you should watch the show first.
But start it in congruence. Like, honestly, you'll watch the show and probably like want to play the game.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happened with me.
I've been wanting to play The Witcher 3 for a long time. I've just been lacking motivation. So this will just kickstart it like, hey,
probably.
I really want to play this fucking game now.
Yeah, it's so good. There's only things like from playing a little bit of Witcher 3, the only thing that really like clicks is what Bryce was saying, like character names or like he does like his signs every now and then. And at one point he like said it and I was like, I knew the name of that sign. He does like the magic bit, but like it's just stuff like that.
I will say that it's probably a better idea to watch the Netflix show first, because if you've played the game, if you know the characters, you know that some of them will be fine, because it's like, well, that's
true.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah, this way, watch the show, then you know, hey,
you'll be
this
like,
might die, they might
die.
not. Yeah. But yeah, the entire time I'm like, okay, I know you.
There's like 4 people that I figured were gonna be fine because of that.
Yeah. So I'd recommend the show. And then if the world seems really interested to you, if you're into it, you could probably pick up The Witcher real cheap.
I have The Witcher 3.
It's on Gamecast too.
Yeah. Then So I recommend the show. And the show's really cool. Lots of boobs in it.
Lots of them.
So many boobs.
They timed it really. Everybody does. I mean, come on. They timed it really well to where, like, I'm pretty sure it got added to Game Pass on Friday with the launch of the show. And I was like, holy shit, this is smart. Yeah. And also, like, it's on sale on Steam as well. Apparently, like, after the show, like, a couple days later after the show came out, like, on Steam, the player base went up by, like, 50,000 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds about right.
I've been seeing so many people who were like, after watching The Witcher, I want to replay Witcher 3 or finish it for the first time. Yeah.
Should I play it with my mouse and keyboard, or should I plug a controller in?
You should do a controller.
Yeah, I've played controller.
Mouse and keyboards for that game is kind of odd. It's like a third-person action adventure game with how it controls.
Okay, how much Skyrim have you played?
Not.
Really?
A ton. 20 hours, maybe? I don't know.
I don't think this is Skyrim.
It's not. No, it's not Sky. It doesn't control like Skyrim at all.
Yeah. It's
Skyrim's first person. This is like a third person. Have you played like Uncharted or Last of Us or any of the Batman games?
I played Last of Us.
It controls like that. It controls like a player, third person, like over the shoulder.
The sword fighting is more purposeful than with like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
True. Yeah.
Really what just happened now, I just want to fucking play Skyrim.
Okay.
Yeah, well, shit. We're back in a cycle.
I want to play Skyrim.
We're in a cycle.
You can find me at lastgeek.com for the content, twitter.com/lastgeek, youtube.com/lastgeek, instagram.com/lastgeekplays, twitch.tv/lastgeekplays. That's probably it. Thank you for listening to this. Go watch The Witcher. It's a good show. And we will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
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 I just realized I didn't talk about Ring Fit Adventure during mine.